City commissioners in a Fort Lauderdale suburb have decided not to officially reprimand their colleague after comments he made at a previous city meeting. Now, they were actually gonna decide whether this commissioner broke the city's civility code. And let me show you the video that kind of started all of this.
Congratulate all the BSO officers who've done such a great job.
Thank you very much.
Do all you can. Morning, Captain.
Joshua Gallardo,
It's my line.
can you come down for a second? It's good to see you again. You probably don't remember me, but you're the police officer who falsely arrested me 4 years ago. You lied on the police report. I believe you're a rogue police officer, you're a bad police officer, and you don't deserve to be here.
All right, so just in case you don't know exactly, you couldn't figure out exactly what's going on there. So that is City Commissioner Mike Gelin talking to Broward Sheriff's Deputy Joshua Gallardo. Gallardo arrested him 4 years ago, and we're gonna get to that arrest specifically in a second. What was happening at that meeting was Gallardo was getting a deputy of, I wanna say it's a Deputy of the Week award. So being rewarded for his actions as a law enforcement officer. And after that, there were a lot of people that came forward calling Gelin courageous. But there were other people, and a lot of them, who were upset. They said he was out of line, as you can see earlier. They were going to officially reprimand them. And the person almost leading that was the mayor. And I want you to take a look at the mayor's actions while Gelin is talking. And we'll get back to that in a second, but take a look at this.
Morning, Captain.
Yeah.
Joshua Gallardo,
It's my line.
can you come down for a second? But you're the police officer who falsely arrested me 4 years ago. You lied on the police report.
So it's just like this disgust, but did the officer lie? But is she more mad about him saying it out loud than the?
Wait a minute, are you talking about the lady with the scarf?
Yeah, okay. She's the mayor.
Yeah.
So look, guys, this is a really interesting story because it goes to a lot of the national discussion about politics in general. It goes to racial issues, it goes to justice issues. So, but why do I say it goes to national issues most of all? Because in the club, the most important rule is do not be uncivil to others in the club. So basically what the mayor and other people are telling Mike Gelin is, hey dude, you're now on the city commission. You're a commissioner, you're in the club. Don't be rude. It doesn't matter what happened outside the club. Outside the club is just the masses. No one cares about them. You have to be polite to people that are in power. And what you did, and you could tell it was definitely awkward. There's no question about that. And so that, for everyone in power, that's nails on a chalkboard. Like, don't do that, oh my God, now our veil of civility has been burst. But what happened to Mike Gelin 4 years ago when he was falsely arrested? No one cares. See, yeah, now that is a lot more rude to arrest someone when they didn't do anything wrong, but that's not inside the club. And so that's why he's getting a lot of blowback. That moment when he called him back up and said that to him, I gotta admit, I was uncomfortable in the beginning, and then by the end, I was like, the North remembers, right? Justice, that's how you do it.
That's absolutely, and let's go back to what happened 4 years ago, because he hadn't released this video. He took cell phone video of the incident in which he got arrested. He hadn't released a video on purpose, saying he wanted everyone to just move forward. But after the mayor and his colleagues decided that they were going to reprimand him officially, he realized that he had to make his own case by showing what happened that day 4 years ago. Take a look.
Did you see him? If you can just hang out here.
Tomorrow? Yeah. Why?
Because it's a violation of HIPAA law. He's actually in.
Pardon me?
You see anything around here right now? Did you see anything?
Why?
Like right now, we're working on this. Just leave the area. He's a victim. He's a victim right now. You want to leave?
I'm watching.
You want to leave the area?
I want to make sure he's
Then please back away to the sidewalk all the way over there.
All right. What's the rule? Is there a rule about that?
I don't want you right here if I'm attending
Okay,
him.
but you're not
I want you
doing
on the other side of that hedge.
What are you doing?
Right now, I want you on the
You're
other
not attending him. What are you doing?
Sir, right now, I'm going to ask you again on the other side of that hedge.
Why don't one have to go to the other side?
You're going to get arrested for obstruction.
How am I obstruction?
I'm asking you to go to the other side, and I don't want you approaching me. I'm not approaching you. You approach me. Hedge. What about everybody else? Other side of the hedge? Dude, you're walking away. It doesn't take effect.
Okay, so not only is the issue the video and what you saw in the video, but the police report that was filed afterwards. And we have a copy of that. And I want to show you what Deputy Gallardo wrote in the report. So this is the report. We have a tighter shot so you can kind of read along with me. But it says that Gelin advised he was recording the incident and that he did not have to move. I advised him, I as Gallardo, I advised Gelin he could continue to record, but he would have to move back behind the bushes to the east side to provide space for when rescue comes. He failed to comply with my commands to move from the area. I'm skipping ahead here though, but I repeatedly requested that he leave the area and not continue to approach me from behind. So a couple things that Gelin is upset about here. One, that you could see multiple times in the video, he is moving backwards, not approaching the officer, and that I didn't hear, at least in that clip, the officer say, you have to get back and you can continue to record, but you have to get back because you need to leave space for rescue. Instead, he said you have to stop recording because it's a HIPAA violation. It is not a HIPAA violation, but that part wasn't mentioned in the police report.
So look, a couple of things are clear. Gelin says in the video there you just saw, he said, how come the other people don't have to move back? And you know why, because he's recording. And the cops don't want you to record them. So that's why they're moving Gelin, but they're not moving anyone else. It is a crime scene. And the cop clearly lied. He said he didn't move back. We just watched the video. He's clearly moving back. He did a very normal thing he has every right to do. Hey, why are you asking me to move back? Because the cop was wrong. He didn't have to move back. That's just not a thing, and neither did the other civilians. Okay, fine, he says, even though he's right, Gelin is right, the civilian in that case is right, he moves back anyway, right? And the cop arrests him anyway, because Gelin committed the worst crime in America, which is not listening to a police officer. It's actually not a crime anywhere, it's not on the law books, but every cop thinks it's worse than murder. Like, how are you disrespecting me? I gave you a command, civilian, and you are to do as you're told. And so no, boom, I'll arrest you and I'll lie about it. So, and Gelin said later, he's like, look, I got a mugshot. I have to explain that the rest of my life. I have to tell people, no, it was a false arrest, etc. Then people don't believe you. And so if I'm in Gelin's situation, come on, if you're in that situation, who do you think did something worse? And now you're forced as a city commissioner to give the guy, it was a Deputy of the Month award. Okay, no, I don't think I'm gonna take that and just go, oh, bravo, the guy who did the false arrest me, Deputy of the Month, congratulations. No, I'm gonna tell him that Gelin sends his regards.
Maybe he was good that month. Maybe he got an award for being good in January, even though November and December not so much. I look at these stories now and I'm like, we got a problem in America, right? We got a problem, and it's not all police officers. I know some good police officers, but the truth is that if being inhumane, being untruthful, if being corrupt is not a deal breaker to you, then you're not a good cop. Because if you're sitting around watching other police officers do the things that they're not supposed to be doing and you maintain silence, then you're complicit and you're part of the problem. I think about this man as a black man and how endangered he was in standing up to a police officer, because that could very well cost his life. And then you hear people talking about, that we're making up these stories or we're exaggerating. I'm so tired of the call for civility from the oppressed. It's like we gotta let people put their feet on our necks, and then we still gotta say thank you and sorry, we forgive you and please. Enough, it's enough already. Like, the call for civility was over when your president said, grab them by the you know what, right? That the call for civility was over when he called the woman horse face, when he said lock her up. All is lost. That is the leadership, the top of the line in America and the free world. So stop asking regular people who are tired of being mistreated, who go to work every day and have to be subjected to this foolishness, to be civil.
Yeah, and how come there's no call for civility for the cop?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Who did this?
How come there's no call for him to be fired? Police officers who lie do not belong on the force. They can't. It's just, right? Like, how come everyone there is not upset that they have to work alongside, that someone who is sworn to protect everyone else there is a liar and would lie on official documents?
Because that's a black
That is
man,
yeah,
and he's not as worth as much in America. And the fact that he turned around without any shame, if that would have been my father, my brother, I would have been embarrassed. Because he turned around and he did a thumbs up in his like trying to be funny. It's like, have some shame about yourself. You should be embarrassed that people saw you lie on national television.
Last thing, so a lot of the African American community members stood up for Gelin and said, no. You're not gonna say that he's out of order. He's standing up for the rest of us. And by the way, isn't that what a person in government is supposed to do?
Absolutely.
That once you achieve power, you're not supposed to just keep it for yourself and go, hey, high five, I'm in the club. I don't give a damn about the voters anymore. I just care about myself. You're supposed to stand up for the community. That's your job. And so he actually did his job, and we should all be thanking him for that and pointing out the problems in policing in that community rather than burying them for fake civility reasons. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.